Hello everyone, my name is Gemma. I'm an illustrator and graphic designer, and I'm currently working on improving my portfolio, so I thought I would document that in YouTube form. So this is a illustration of myself as a cartoon character because I thought that'd be a fun place to start, and I'm also teaching myself how to use Click Studio Paint, which I've never used before, so you'll see me flailing around inside the interface here a bit. I'm just working out my basic sketch using simple shapes, playing with the pencils that are built in with Clip Studio. I was quite impressed with the default brushes and pens available in the program. Pressure sensitivity seems much better than Photoshop straight out of the box. Yeah, just resizing the body there because I drew it a little bit too small, made myself look a little too young. Yeah, I have really no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just playing around with colour. I kind of had the idea I wanted to try for something a little more sketchy and loose. So I was sort of thinking perhaps I'd come in here and try it with no line. But I think what I did in the end didn't quite work out the way I wanted, so with the next attempt to play with some style, I'm going to probably use a pen tool to create the flats to colour on top of, so I get a nice crisp edge. The main pen I'm using to do all the flat colours is just one of the pencil pens. I did play around with the watercolour brushes a little with the hair, but I went back to the pencil, so I like the texture that's involved. Here I am seeing if I can use my sketch as the final line art. So I'm coming in and kind of using I think it was a colour burn or on the line art layer. So that removed all the extra squiggles around the edges and just showed the colour over the top of my flats as a sort of darker version of the flat colour. So I had to go back in and fill in all the bits I didn't with the flats. Of course, it meant I also had to go around all of the colours so I could bring the line art back through. This ended up being an act of futility because I didn't like it in the end. I do really like Clip Studio's ability to draw with transparency, so you can erase with the same texture you were using with your brush, so it's a little less harsh than a eraser. Yeah, you can see I gave up on that line art and decided to just redraw it. I'm playing around with the different pencils I can use for the line art. You'll see me playing with a whole bunch of different pens or pencil tools in a second. I wanted it to be loose and a little rough. So I feel like I really enjoy that style with children's book illustrations, the loose, sketchy look. I like being able to see the artist's hand in the illustrations. Again, I'm trying to be lazy before and see if I can get the layers to colour the line for me. In the end, I wasn't happy with it, so I'm just using a mask on the layer to just colour in the lines to be a darker shade than the flat that they cover, which is a technique I used in Photoshop with the clipping masks. Thought here I'd have a play around with doing some shading with texture. So I'm just experimenting with the different default brushes that come with Clip Studio to see which one I like the texture of. And what I plan to do is do all the grey shading first and then use a blending layer over the top to create the colour. Because I notice in my work normally I don't push my shading far enough. I want to push it a bit more. So if I'm ignoring colour and just concentrating on shading, then hopefully, theoretically, I'm going to do a better job at creating some dynamic shadows and some interesting lighting. In this case, obviously, it's not particularly dramatic, it's just me trying to work out what I'm doing and learn a new program. Tidying up the shading here and blending it out a bit more. Almost done now. What I like about these brushes is they're giving a texture to my artwork, which goes along with the paper texture I actually have in the background. So I want these to look organic, even though they're done on computer. When you're doing client work, it can be a godsend to be able to do work digitally. Getting close to the end of the drawing now, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thank you very much if you got this far. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to see more, I plan to bring out more of these videos as we go forward. And thanks very much for watching.